I'm Ian Finley. I'm a Vice President of Research with Gartner, and I'm going to talk a little bit about managing Agile projects and some of the differences between managing an Agile software development project versus a traditional, usually waterfall type of project. There are a couple of key things whenever transitioning to Agile to keep in mind. I'll talk about 7 or so different points, and there's obviously always more to learn, but hopefully this will get you oriented and give you some ideas about the differences, the biggest differences between managing an Agile project and a traditional one. The first thing is that the best way to start with Agile is to start small. There's so much to learn in terms of developing internal skills that it's very difficult to do it with a large project or with a lot of people all at one time. So you're better off starting off with a small project and a small team that you can manage closely, and then building. Your goal is to build Agile from being a new way to being the automatic way that they do their work. So eventually that team will become an automatic Agile team. They'll know how to do it, and then you can gradually expand the team or mix those players into other teams in order to expand. The second thing is you want to set up your project schedule in terms of short, fixed duration sprints. And the reason for short durations is to keep the project constantly moving forward, but also constantly evaluating where you are and what needs to be done next. Because priorities will change during a project. And the reason that you should use the same duration length and not expand and contract it is because you want to establish a rhythm. You want people to be able to estimate how much they can get done inside of a sprint, and you want them to know, to establish a rhythm in terms of defining, doing the analysis and design parts, the execution parts, the testing parts, all within that sprint. And the other thing to keep in mind is that each one of these sprints should actually complete a user story, including things like testing and documentation. A Agile project is always complete at the end of each sprint. So you need to build not only the code, but also the documentation and quality, do the quality tests. And then the next step is to track completed work. In a traditional project, you might have estimates of how far along we are, like we're 80% complete or 90% complete. In an Agile project, you want to just track complete. How much of the overall commitment that we've established for this sprint have we actually completed? Because it turns out that people are very bad at estimating how close they are to completion. So it's best to just track the number of story points or user stories or technical stories and which ones are complete and which ones aren't. Your goal in managing an Agile project is not just to develop a piece of software, but also to build a strong team. And your biggest goal here is to build teams, not individuals, so that the team can work together. And the team is not just the developers, but also any QA people, the business representatives, etc. And then the other thing about project management in Agile is you want to engage the whole organization. If you're just doing development in an Agile model, but your deployment and rollout is still on a quarterly basis or a yearly basis, you're not going to get the benefits of the rapid development. You need to stretch and embrace folks outside the development team as part of the project. And then the final thing is, into each iteration, you should be looking to work off any technical debt that you've built up. You don't want debt in terms of unfinished or costly structures or architectures to grow over time. You want to rework the pieces that need to be reworked as part of each sprint. So hopefully that's given you a high-level idea of the big differences between managing an agile project and a traditional project, and I hope you found it useful.